This week, things are getting spicy in the NFL. The One Stars have the NFL's all-time leading rusher, Emmitt Smith. He joins the podcast to talk Cowboys and his new restaurant in Las Vegas. Let's go.
Dallas Cowboys fans, America's team. You can support America's podcast, the One Star Recruits, by going to 500level.com. Get all the Cowboy shirts, Jake Ferguson, Jalen Tolbert, the Monday Night Hero, the best kicker in the NFL, Brandon Aubrey. Awesome shirts on 500level.com. We'll give you 20% off everything on the site with the discount code DK and RIP at checkout. That's DKANDRIP. 500level.com. Let's go.
Yo, what's up? This is Emmitt Smith here, the NFL all-time leading rusher. You're on with me and the rest of the crew on the One Star Recruits.
Yo, aloha. Welcome to the One Star Recruits podcast. NFL went hard on Sunday, Rip. Started for me at 4 a.m. in Hawaii. I got up just in time to watch my guy on my fantasy team, starting in my flex, Aaron Jones, go down with his annual Week 5 injury. Seems to happen to this man every year. No disrespect, A. Jones, but you got to stay healthy. He was out of the game, Rip. Vikings and the Jets kicked off at 9:32 Eastern time, a.m. That's 3:30 for me, Hawaiian time. They kicked off from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. The game wasn't bad, bro. Game was not bad. Minnesota, 23-17, remained 5-0. Congratulations, Seymour. Congratulations to everybody out in St. Paul. All my One Stars, 5-0 for the Minnesota Vikings. We're not talking about it enough. I'm not going to really talk about it because I don't care that much, but I got to make mention of it. Rip, we got to let it be known. Things got moving a little bit in these European games, as they always do. Your boy, Rip, Robert Saleh, great defensive coordinator for the Niners. Terrible head coach. He drew his final straw. He's fired. He's out of here. Father of 7. Rob Saleh. Don't cry for him, though, bro. Do not cry, Rip. Are you feeling any emotions for your guy, Rob Saleh, right now?
Not too many. I did get a text from listener Paul Wall in Burlingame saying that my doppelganger got fired. It took me a second, but apparently I'm a Robert Saleh lookalike. I mean, we're both bald. Do I look like Rob Saleh? Am I going to lose my job?
Paul might be confusing you with the cash cab driver from that old TV show, because that is not correct of a Rob Saleh, Rip. You do not look like him. Once again, father of 7. You also don't look like him because you're not rich. Straight up. That's why I say don't cry for this man. Let me give you just a couple small facts, listeners, on Rob Saleh. So he's going to go chill now, which he probably should have been doing for 2 years. Just make Aaron Rodgers probably player coach too, by the way, to finish this thing out. Let's just wrap it up. This experiment is getting nuts. I don't even want Devontae Adams going there anymore. I'm already over this whole Jets experiments, but back to Rob Saleh. He's going to make close to $20,000 per day, Rip. Per day from the Jets for the next 2 years. So that's $583,000 a month, $134,000 a week. That's $19,000 a day. Should I keep going, Rip? That's $799 per hour, and that is $13.32 per minute for the next 2 years for Robert Saleh. So don't worry about him, bro. Woody Johnson's big boying now, owner of the Jets. He's in completely I don't give an F mode after that London loss, that embarrassing loss. He's making GM and head coaching calls, actually. I saw just this morning. This is real from Woody on Hassan Reddick, which is a whole fucked up crazy situation with Hassan Reddick. But here comes Woody swinging now. He says this, Rip, ready? He says this: we'd welcome him with open arms. Hassan, get in your car, drive down the 95, come to the Jets. We can meet you and give you an escort right into the building. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy when things start going a little bit and spicing up in the NFL. It's what's happening, Rip. It was a long-ass day. It was the longest day, in fact, in NFL history, thanks to an international game, which we just talked about a little bit. And then we had a delay in the evening game. Do you like the international games, Rip? Are you a fan of them yet? Are they growing on you at all?
They're all right. For me, it's 6:30 in the morning wake up time. Not as early as you, but hey, when you have fantasy players going in that game, like an Aaron Jones or a Sam Darnold, for anyone who picked him up, you'll watch at any hour, I think, at this point.
Things are changing a little bit with the flow of the NFL, and that's what I mentioned. So let's just take this Sunday, for example. So it flew in from 11 glorious games, 15 hours and 27 minutes, I believe is the actual stats on this thing. Later in the day, Emmitt Smith's Cowboys rallied from a dramatic 2017 win over the Steelers. Great game. Dak Prescott found Jalen Tolbert in the end zone with just 20 seconds left. Talk about Jay Toll a little bit in the interview coming up here. Pretty good stuff. Watson, Rip, was so bad. Deshaun Watson. That line was a trick, Rip. I had it too. I thought this was time for the Commanders. The Browns were going to show up a little bit. This was the game to get back on track. He's so bad, Rip. That was painful to watch. Intense pain. You missed on that. I missed on that.
Yeah, never bet against our guy Jaden, DK, former one-star recruit. We had him early, and we saw this coming. I don't know why we would ever doubt the man.
Really good. He's got Baltimore, by the way, Rip, coming up this week. The battle in DC. What do you call this battle? Is there a name for it? I don't think it's ever been this good. Battle of the Beltway, Rip. It's never been this good. I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to this game now. We have Lamar Jackson against Jaden Daniels, which could be a new storyline that we see for years to come. But back to last Sunday. So we're just in the middle of it a little bit. We got to see Trev Lawrence and Doug Peterson figure out a way to get a win, although it felt like a loss. I don't know how to say that any differently. They got a win, but it was ugly. Cut your hair, Mr. Lawrence. That's it. It's a juju thing, not Smith-Schuster, who impressed the world. I'm going on a tangent now, but cut your hair, Mr. Lawrence, okay? You'll keep winning and not this ugly. We saw Gardner Minshew pick his nose, Rip, and eat his booger. I don't think we've seen that from a pro player in a while. Can you remember the last time you've seen a booger eating on camera on a Sunday?
Sounds like a one-star recruit to me.
Haven't seen it before. There's Gardner on the bench. Raiders are just terrible. In the middle of that, Cardinals win, Rip. Cardinals win in San Francisco. Divisional game. Give me 20 seconds on that dub real fast. Cardinals win.
The 20 seconds I'm going to give you is the same thing we talk about Emmitt with. It's Kyler Murray. He's exciting. He's flashy. He's up and down. He's inconsistent. But you're not going to get anything better than him if you're the Cardinals. So you got to ride with the guy, and sometimes he's going to bring you joy, and sometimes he's going to bring you misery. The last Sunday against the Niners was a huge upset, and he made Cardinal fans very happy, except for the ones who want the number one pick and want to get a new quarterback in there. Those guys weren't very happy.
Always. And they're always around. Back home for the Cardinals against the Packers. Scary game. Lots of cheeseheads come to the Valley for this game, but that's going to be a must watch. I think a lot of offense will be scored in that game coming up. And then Pittsburgh delayed 90 minutes. We had a weather incident in Pittsburgh, some hail going down. Stretched this Sunday to about 1 a.m. Eastern time. It's a pretty long day. There were some really cool pictures I saw, Rip, of that lightning coming down in Pittsburgh. The moral of this whole story, though, is that the NFL owns the day. It's going to continue, too. I know you're busy with kids and family life, but can you feel the sense of Sunday is completely the NFL? Everything is based on it. You might be out of it a little bit more, Rip, because you have kids, baseball, some other things, or is it also even consuming you guys? Are you in it, too? NFL is owning your Sunday.
I'm in deep. My 8-year-old is actually in a fantasy league, and he's currently sitting in first place. First thing he does every morning is propose trades and pick guys up. So I'm in it. I think out of that 15 hours of NFL action, I probably watched a good 9 hours last week. It was a little overkill for me, to be honest.
Respect. No, that's what it's all about, I think. Football heads. We're going to football. We're going to talk ball. We're going to watch ball. Things are going to get a little bit crazier as time goes on. Sunday morning kickoffs from Europe have become more regular. We expect them now, Rip. You do. I do. It's not like, it's coming. The bettors know how to bet it differently. NFL owners are pretty serious about wanting to do 16 games outside of the U.S. each season. 16. That's a lot, bro. We have the NBA doing some preseason stuff in Abu Dhabi. I know the NFL is looking at Australia. There was site tour rumors in Sydney and Melbourne. That's got to happen. That makes perfect sense. And then maybe into Abu Dhabi and the Emirates. See some of that money go. Germany's already been one. We'll see, Rip. We'll see. You never know how the world works. Weather's crazy. Dude, weather's affecting everything. Real life, real danger. People evacuating all of Western Florida right now. The whole southeast, including Pensacola, Emmitt's hometown, getting wrecked from rain and really hard living conditions right now when you have the double hurricanes. You know what I mean? For folks who live there and for sports teams, it's scary stuff. It's smart to be a runner and get out. It's okay. It's smart to be a runner in this situation. It's really bad, Rip. Really bad. Couple teams having to kind of redo their whole system here. Tampa Bay's the main eye of this storm here. Buccaneers are out. They were out on Tuesday morning. They're going to New Orleans to play the game next week. I think University of South Florida, they play all their games at Raymond James. They're out. It's over. The Lightning start preseason. Get out of town, out of here too. So people are getting out of Dodge, Rip. I don't know if you've ever been in a hurricane. I don't know if you'd be the type of human to want to like hold it down. A lot of people have that instinct. It's silly. I'm very fine being a runner. I was a runner last year for a terrible fire. It's the smart thing to do. What's your instinct say? You going to be a get out of Dodge guy if the alert comes across your phone? Or are you going to try to ride it out, save your shit?
See, when you have time to prepare like you do for this one, for Milton, I mean, I think they had 3 or 4 days notice. I mean, you could see the storm coming last week. You have time to pack up. You only had like 5 minutes to grab the dogs and get the hell out of that fire in Lahaina. But when you have a little bit of time, I think 1,000% I'm going to runner. I'm very organized. I'm going to plan. I'm going to pack a suitcase. I'm going to get what I need and get out. There's no way I'm staying. Don't risk it. It's not worth it. Get the hell out.
Category 5s, you got to be careful with those. Miami's not in the direct path. Dolphins aren't a bye. Who cares? Who cares about the Dolphins anyway? University of Miami has the week off. Amazing win in Berkeley. It was a great game. I want to talk a little college football after this interview here, Rip. But the Florida Panhandle, the peninsula, look like they'll avoid the major eye of the storm, but help any way that you can. Folks listening in Pensacola. From Pensacola, though, to Dallas, from football player to businessman, enjoy this interview with Emmitt Smith.
Now joining the One Star Recruits podcast, we have a husband, a father, a native of Pensacola, Florida, the all-time leading rusher in the NFL, and now the founder of a hot new Vegas restaurant. Emmitt Smith is on with the One Star Recruits. Thanks for hopping on, Emmitt.
Oh, thank you guys. The one-star recruits.
1 stars, baby. One
no
stars all the way.
No 4 stars, no 5 stars, just the 1 star.
Probably 0 stars if we're being honest, but
That's funny.
But that's why we have you on. I know you've done so much stuff during your adult life in real estate development with your foundation, clothing, tech, all of these other industries. Why was the time right in 2024 to get into the restaurant business and really in the hottest restaurant city in the U.S.?
Oh my goodness. Just call it crazy if you want to. Too many football hits or something. No, but I think the opportunity was such a great opportunity because of the sheer location where we ended up landing at was just spot on, in my opinion. I mean, you're right across from the Wynn Hotel, Palazzo, Treasure Island, down the street from Resort World, and you're right there on Main Street, which is Las Vegas Boulevard. So a lot of traffic flows right through there, and Fashion Show Mall happened to be one of the best malls in Vegas. And so being right there at that location meant a lot because of the eyeballs that you see, the visibility that's all down on Fashion Show Mall. And so we right down the street from the Sphere and the convention center. So convenience-wise, I thought it was a great location.
It's working, man. People love it. Congratulations. Awarded a 2024 Diner's Choice Award recently from Open Table, just in the first year. So amazing. Emmitt, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people, a lot of ex-athletes think opening a restaurant might be something in their future, kind of as sexy and fun because food and people and parties, it's good stuff. Right. What's something you've learned in the first 7 months of Emmitt's Vegas that's been a surprise for you as a restaurant owner?
I think it's the same thing straight across the board. People. I mean, beyond just the physical location. After the physical location, as they say, location in the real estate space. But after that, it's people. Because the quality of people that you have working with you and the quality service that you provide, and that service does include food. It includes how you treat people, all these kind of things. And so it's very critical to not only have a good team, but your game plan got to be put together in time for everything. I mean, our restaurant was not easy getting open. We went through a couple of things that were just that's not necessarily normal in some cases. So we had a little hiccups here and there in terms of chefs, and also in terms of a couple other people that that was leading the charge, couldn't really pull off what they said they could pull off in a timely fashion. So, but nonetheless, we got the restaurant open. Still got quality chef there, Chef Antoine and those guys. The food is phenomenal. I mean, it really is phenomenal, and it's very consistent. The service itself is impeccable too. So I'm very proud of where we are right now. We still have a ways to go. We're trying to definitely get the local Vegas market to come from out of the hills and come down to the strip and come down to this location to actually get some quality food. We're starting to make some headways there. And so we do get the traveler, people from all over the country, some people from all over the world actually come through, because a lot of them come from Mexico City, other places, to see me on the weekend where I'm out there signing autographs and stuff like that. But people are starting to come in.
Calling all of Henderson, calling all of downtown Las Vegas, I'm calling Bullhead City, Laughlin, Emmitt. I'm going to call all the way down to Flagstaff, Tempe, and Tucson to come up, because you have the best bar, bro, in Vegas, I think. I think you guys might have one of the best bar setups that I've seen.
Hey, our setup is pretty nice. Our setup is real nice, matter of fact. I ain't going to say pretty nice. It's real nice.
Real nice.
But nonetheless, people, once they get there and understand where it's at, because sometimes a lot of this is trying to figure out, how do I get to it? Yes, I say I'm on the strip. Yes, I say I'm across from Wynn, and I'm from across the street from Palazzo and all these other places. But actually, how do I get to it once I get on the property? Well, if you walk, if you're coming out of the Wynn and you're going over to Fashion Show Mall, there's an exit out of there. Same thing up Palazzo. And you walk over the overpass right there at the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard. I forget the other side street. It's right there where turn number 4 or 5 may be at in F1. And so we're right there on the strip. We got Benihana's right next to us. We're right there.
Right there. There you go, listeners. You have a man with some of the best vision ever in the NFL just gave you the vision to Emmitt's when you're in Vegas. That's the vision and the way to get there.
I'm trying to give them landmarks. People are very good with landmarks. Once they see the landmarks, they can probably start putting things together. It's really landmarks.
Look, find that Benihana's. You'll find Emmitt's. Yeah, the new spots you always got to get used to in Vegas, but I'm sure it's going to be around for a long time. Chef Antoine is doing a hell of a menu. It's American classics. We got steaks going off. You got even some sushi. I want to know what your order right now is, Emmitt. I'll say for me, just looking off before I even hear yours, I'm staring at that French onion soup for sure. I'm probably getting myself an espresso martini. Don't make fun of me. I'm a 1-star.
I won't.
And then probably some salmon, man. I'm trying to stay in shape. That's probably my order, I think. Did I get a good one? What's your order?
My order would probably be a combination of everything, because I like sushi. And I definitely like the tomahawk. I can go with the carbonara as well. The bolognese is real good. Definitely gonna get the Brussels sprouts along with the sauteed mushrooms. They're on point. And the mac and cheese is good. Even the doggone sea bass is unbelievable too now. So and then a sushi bowl might not be a bad idea either. So the sushi is great too. So. And I'm gonna chug that all down with a glass of my Hedadora tequila.
Great, Emmitt, nailed it, man. Yeah, get out there, listeners. Go check out new spot in Vegas.
Hold up. I left one thing out.
Hit me.
When you finish all of that, and you need to have something to top it off with outside of your drink, and you want to have a little bit of dessert, you gotta get the butter cake.
Ooh, yeah. Rip likes that. Rip, that was on your order, right? Rip, you're gonna get that butter cake.
I'm walking over. What time you guys close? I'm walking over from Palazzo right before closing time to get that.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff, Emmitt. Thank you so much. Let's talk about Florida for a minute. We have a big election coming up, and you've been active. We appreciate everything that you've been doing nationally and in your hometown of Florida. Let's talk about it a little bit more. You've been outspoken on a couple of topics as people are preparing to go to the polls. Talk to them a little bit. What are some things that are important to you this year?
What's important to me is America getting back to some of the fundamentals of who we really are as people, because I think we've lost our way. I think our moral compass is way skewed too far to the left. And we're allowing things to slide through, things that we wouldn't even consider allowing to slide through in our past. And the one thing I'm a firm believer in, like I do in sports, I do look at the world through the lens of sports, because when I grew up playing sports, I grew up playing with all kinds of races, racial people, not racist, but racial people, the diversity on the field, the way we all work together for the common good of each other, not just for the common good of an individual, but for the common good of each other. Those principles are no longer, seem like they no longer exist. It's this party versus that party. And if you're not in neither one of these parties, you don't even exist. We don't even see you, and we don't even hear you. And if you don't have elite status in terms of capital, well, we're not even talking to you. We're talking over you. So to me, when I hear about things that, and we're not, and like I said, I'm gonna use the word sports. When we made a mistake and we won games, we still looked at the tape and we evaluated ourselves. When we lost games, we looked at the tape and we evaluated ourselves. And the reason why we did it was to get better and to become better at what we were trying to get accomplished. Well, you can get better at doing the wrong thing all the time, or you can get better at doing the right thing all the time or consistently. And I think that's how I look at things. So when I see people trying to divide us, whether it's through sexual orientation or whether it's through racial division or whether it's through financial gain for a group of people versus the other group of people, it bugs me. It bugs me because I grew up, and I think we all grew up, is being in the United States, you can become anything that you want to until you become successful. Then they don't want you to become successful no more. So that's a problem for me, because the door should be open for everybody. Equal opportunity means equal opportunity for everybody. And that's the way it was in sports. You got on the field, you truly competed with the other individual. And if you earned the right to get that spot, then it was your job to keep that spot. And the way you kept that spot was having a level of humility and work ethic and consistency that was developed over time. Hence, that's how come you become the all-time leading rusher. And your teammates believe in you because of the things that you put in during the offseason to show that you deserve to be in that position. And when I look at some of the politics, they have no concept of team. It's a bunch of individual people that probably was not very good at a lot of other things, but talking and convincing people with a double mouth to believe in them, to go do something for them. And then when they get there, they're doing more things for a select group of people versus everybody. So that's a problem for me.
All valid, and appreciate you speaking up, especially these times. It's important that we give people things to think of as they go to the polls that are a little bit bigger than themselves. Emmitt, it's a team game. I think of Tolbert getting in the end zone last night a little bit, Emmitt. It's a team game. That man's worked so hard.
And you know what? Dak Prescott made a ton of mistakes, but yet he bounced back from those mistakes. And he came through in the end and he threw a clutch pass to a guy that nobody was really paying attention to. Tolbert had a great game. Tolbert stepped up and grew up last night. So again, if I use the words, if I take the illustration through sports, you see players actually growing before you. But today's conversation was all around pride. Dak Prescott throwing picks and everything else. The bottom line is it was an ugly win. And you have to win ugly at times. Every win is not going to be so dominated by your offense or your defense. Yes, defense played well last night. No Michael Parsons, no DeMarcus Lawrence, not to mention some other players, and key players got hurt last night. So it was a very physical football game. It was a great football game, but it was a great team win. And so when you look at it from that perspective, the whole team won. Now, that's football, but that's how life should be too. Life should be about family. It should be about community. And community don't mean the suburbs versus the ghetto. The community is everybody. America is everybody. It's made up of different races, different backgrounds, different religions, and everything else, because that's what America promoted. Come to America, you could be anything you want to be. And so if we're going to have in God we trust on our dollar, then we sure need to live out some of those principles that God laid out before us.
America's team. America, our America. It's good stuff, Emmitt. Thank you. Yeah, I love the comparison to football. Number 23, your guy Dowdle showed up too, running real hard last night. It was a great team win, man. Good stuff. Let's talk Pensacola, your hometown. We do this every guest, Emmitt. We want to know how much of your hometown are you? So let's play How Pensacola Are You? You ready to rock?
Yeah.
All right. We have first question. The Dwarf Chicken Stand has been open since 1963, serving chicken. They're open till 4 a.m., I believe. How many times have you eaten at the Dwarf Chicken Stand, Emmitt? And what's that go-to order?
Oh, my gosh. I don't even know if I've even eaten at the Dwarf Chicken Stand.
Whoa.
How about Jerry's? Jerry's Drive-In?
Jerry's Driving. Y'all know more about my hometown than I do right now.
Pensacola, man. We're going to get a lot of listens in Pensacola.
I can talk to you about Seville Quarters. I can talk to you about McGuire's. I can talk to you about Blue Dot. I can talk to you about the Belmont, the Villas.
Hey, any of those, Emmitt, influence your current restaurant touring in Vegas? Any of those early days in Pensacola you think back on in your design phase?
What really influenced Vegas for me was, and I think this is where Chef Antoine and I kind of linked up together, is because we believe in family, and I look at Thanksgiving as family opportunity. That's the reason why we want the restaurant and want you to come into the restaurant. We want you to feel like you're part of the family, and whether it's shrimp and grits, whether it's a steak, because trust me, the steak I have in my restaurant, it's not a Western Sizzler steak back in Pensacola that I used to get when I was in high school. The baked potatoes are a little bit different. We don't even have, you know what I'm saying? Things are different because here's what life provides. It provides an opportunity for exposure. And that's what football has done for me. It has exposed me to different levels. It doesn't mean I forgot my roots. It just means that I've been exposed to different levels of quality this, because that tomahawk we got, I never saw a tomahawk until I became worthy and had enough coin in my pocket to go and buy a tomahawk and see a tomahawk.
And
all
Dallas,
the fish I got out of the Gulf, the shrimp, the speckled trout, all the fish that I got out of the Gulf. I never ate sushi until I went to Japan.
Wow.
So
that's Pensacola.
I didn't go to Japan until I was a Dallas Cowboy. We went over there and played in Tokyo. So at the end of the day, exposure opened my mind and my eyes to the opportunity of what the world could really offer. There's a lot of folks in my hometown that may never ever have that experience. There's a lot of people in the world right now that's never had that experience. So you wouldn't even know if you like Hispanic food unless you go to Mexico or go to a Hispanic nation and try it. And so coming to Texas exposed me to a lot of salsa, a lot of different types of Hispanic foods, and et cetera, et cetera. So exposure has brought a totally different perspective to the life of Emmitt Smith, including Pensacola set the foundation. Don't get me wrong. My mama grits, my mama eggs, my mama bacon, sausages. Don't forget about all the pork that we have. I'm out here in Texas. They got barbecue out here. We got fried fish out here. We got all the same things that I have down there in the South right here. And some of those things have ventured right into Emmitt's restaurant.
Let's go. I got to bring it back to Pensacola because you're right. Back to Pensacola. We're going to bring it home here. Pensacola has served Emmitt as a filming location for a lot of Hollywood movies, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name one? There's three big ones. Give me one. That was Top Gun. Let's go. Yeah. It's not on my list, but I think it's there. Winston, get on Top Gun. You got any more?
I think Top Gun was filmed there.
Some good ones. Jaws 2. I'm going to throw one out there.
Yeah.
Jaws 2. Pearl Harbor. Transformers.
I didn't realize Pearl Harbor was filmed in Pensacola.
It was. Take a closer look. You'll see some spots that you recognize.
Some parts of it was.
Parts of it were. Pensacola. Last one. Pensacola Interstate Fair. It looks like a really good fair. It starts next week. And you can get wristband tickets, listeners, I think, for $3. Great deal. Wonderful deal. Take the family out there. Right. Taking you back to 1981, Emmitt, 12 years old. You're at the Midway, cruising the fair.
Yeah.
What game you dominating to bring back a huge stuffed bear? What game are you dominating?
You know what? I think I may have dominated the baseball, throwing the baseball through the tires, and maybe shooting the water gun through the what's name to
Yep.
make the thing go up. But I always came home with cotton candy and the candy apple.
Nice.
Let's go.
Keep those teeth in good shape, man. Keep those teeth good. Rip, very Pensacola. This man is definitely Pensacola. Worldly, but very Pensacola.
But let's talk. See, I thought you was gonna go down the athletic side, so you went down the other side. Now, don't forget about Chappie James was out of Pensacola.
Okay.
Don't forget Roger Staubach played his very first one of his football games out of Pensacola. So did Jim Brown when the Syracuse came down to play somebody in one of these bowl games. They practiced in Pensacola. What else? Then you got all the athletes out of Pensacola. Whether it's Roy Jones Jr., myself, Derrick Brooks, two NFL 100 guys on that team, Derrick Brooks and myself. Super Bowl champions comes out of Pensacola.
Those are the things that people always talk about at Pensacola. We got the 1-star stuff. We want the county fair. We want the dwarf chicken stand. But we love it, man. We know you're Pensacola.
Yeah, we know enough about Danny Warfel and Trent Richardson. All right, Emmitt, we know you guys got athletes out there, man. We're trying to learn what you got at the state fair, baby. Thank you, man. Thank you, Emmitt.
You went to the state fair. Don't forget the Pensacola Motor Speedway and the dog track. They had the dog track too.
But that's a good town down there, Pensacola. And we Emmitt, we end every interview with the segment we call 1 star to 5 star. We talked about it. We're 1 stars, but we need your help. We're trying to get better advice and tips, everything you got for us. So I want to just ask a few questions to close it out, and they run the gamut on the 1 to 5 star scale here. You ready? All right. I have a theory I want to run by you. To me, like it's well known, vision is a huge part of being a great running back. You have to be able to see things before they happen. And in my mind, it makes me think about when you're going 70 miles an hour on a freeway and you're looking ahead of you at all those lanes of traffic. I know you do it in Dallas all the time. Are you a 5-star driver, Emmitt Smith? Like, does that theory check out that great running backs are also great drivers?
I think so. Because my kids will tell me, and I've had people tell me I drive like I run a football.
It makes sense.
Seeing lanes and being able to get in the lanes without causing any major issues. That's key. I call that defensive driving. And at the end of the day, yeah, I think I'm a 5-star driver.
Eddie George said the same thing. FYI.
Never been in an accident. All right, number 2 here. Fellow Floridian and also number 22, Derrick Henry, just passed 10,000 career rushing yards over the weekend. Yep. You had a big congrats for him on social media, which was awesome. And that 10,000 yards is a little more than halfway to your all-time mark of 18,355. Let's say on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, how likely do you think it is that your rushing yards record will ever be broken on a scale of 1 to 5 stars?
Well, they've added in extra game, so that gives a player an extra chance to go ahead and get to it. And I think that's why they did it. They want to create more drama around getting to that record. The more drama around the National League, the better it is, the more popular it becomes.
Tell them.
However, until the league start to revert back to its roots of being able to run the rock and throw the ball, be a lot more balanced versus throwing to run or vice versa, it's gonna be hard. I mean, Derrick is as big and strong as he is and hard as he work out. It's just going to be tough, but he's in the right situation. I can promise you that, because they're going to make sure he gets the football. And he has Lamar Jackson, who can throw for 300 some odd yards while everybody else trying to gang it up on Derrick Henry. So he's proven that just this past weekend. And so, but Derrick Henry still got his yardage. He's due to break loose at some point. And when he does, he's going to punish people because of his size and his speed. So kudos to him. And I think he has an opportunity to get there. He's in the right system, and I would not change the system as long as Lamar is there. And as long as they keep him in that same system, he has a chance to get there.
Speaking of more games and longevity, why aren't more guys wearing these Guardian caps, Emmitt? I know they look funny, but man, would you wear one of those if you had the option?
I don't think I would. I grew up in football the way I did. I didn't grow up with a Guardian cap. And so it would be weird to put something on top of a helmet for me. And I don't even know what that feels like. But at the end of the day, whether you're wearing a Guardian cap or not, we are in a risky sport. Now, can the guardian cap help? Yes, it can. Is it necessary? To each their own. And everybody runs the same kind of risk, whether it's a head injury or a physical body, other parts injury. All those things are at play when you play the game of football.
Emmitt, you got a kid at Texas A&M. Do you talk about that stuff with him, with the guardian cap options or that, or the kids also
They wear the guardian caps in practice, which is fine. I think practice is a great place. It reduces some of the impact. And then on game day, they don't. So I'm okay with both. Because I think in some cases, you button heads a lot more in practice on a consistent basis. Then you butt heads even more on Sunday. So reducing some of that pressure throughout the week give you a little bit more cushion to go at it on the weekend.
That's a good point. And also the fact that you didn't grow up doing it, like it might take this generation that's coming up now to wear those in practice and then be more used to it and maybe see that, 20 years from now be a regular thing.
Exactly. It could become a normal thing in about 5 or 10 years. It ain't gonna take long.
All right, last one. We got to close it out with one for the Cowboys fans. You haven't been shy about voicing your opinion of the team this year, especially. I think you were on a podcast back in February around the Super Bowl and had some pretty strong opinions, but we talked about it a little earlier. We saw a little magic on that last second touchdown in Pittsburgh last night. It was a big road win. Has anything changed for you as far as believing in this team as we're a little bit into Mike McCarthy's 5th season here?
You know what gets me is the way that they played last night. I mean, again, I said no DeMarcus Lawrence, no Michael Parsons, and yet the defense held strong. Again, we have to look at who they played against offensively. Offensively, they played against Justin Fields in Pittsburgh, and Najee Harris is not a shabby runner. And Pittsburgh offense is not that bad, but they're a whole lot better than Cleveland's offense. And therefore, with just those two players that I mentioned are not on the defensive side of the ball, defense look fine, look good, look manageable, look like we can work with it. Now we got to look at the offensive side of the ball. Pittsburgh defense is pretty good. I don't care how you look at it. And our offense struggled. We struggled in the turnover category. We didn't struggle running the football. And we didn't struggle throwing the football. We made major mistakes. And it's those things that we're still making that we were making 2 or 3 years ago that have been very costly. So to me, I'm looking at all of this and saying, we're not getting better. We're just going sideways. And even though we are missing certain players, we're still going sideways. But I see players I see players stepping up, like Tobin. Stepping up, making plays, and making key plays at the right time. Not just this week, but he did last week too. So I see him growing, and that's a plus. We have potential, but potential is not going to get you into the playoff. Playing consistently and growing every week give you a chance to get into the playoff.
Emmitt, you talk to Jerry or Coach McCarthy at all? You get any time with those guys?
No, I don't. I say, hey, good luck. And congratulations last week. Let's win one today. If I see him, that's what it's like. And so, but I don't spend a lot of time in their space because it is their space. And I don't want them to think that I'm there trying to gather information just so I can come on anybody's podcast or anybody's television show and talk about them in a negative light or even in a positive light. I just take what I see on the football field and I translated that into my conversation. And
Respect.
so that's how I am. I mean, if they wanted me around, they'll send me an invite. I haven't gotten an invite. So
yeah, very clear answer. Thank you, man. I want to invite you over to our world real fast, the Arizona Cardinals. You can come over here. We'll probably open up the whole front office for you if you want to. We'll probably give you the head coaching job if you want to come over.
I don't want the head coaching job, but I don't mind hanging out with Michael Bidwell.
Give Bedwell. We'll give you all of Mill Avenue. We'll give you that damn Uno Pizzeria down there. Whatever you need, Emmitt. But dude, James Conner. How about that man running so hard? Come on, let's give it up for James Conner a little bit.
I am absolutely proud of every running back that goes through something and bounce back. I'm proud of every person that goes through something and bounce back. And James Conner is the epitome of perseverance and mind over matter. In other words, your mind if your mind is right, it don't matter what the situation is. You learn how to overcome them, and you get yourself back up, and you go forward. And that's what he represents. He is truly a kid from the Pennsylvania area. I hate to say Pittsburgh, but from the Pennsylvania area. And so he is built like a blue collar worker, and he plays like a blue collar worker. So I'm glad to see him out there doing this thing, and I'm rooting for Kyler Murray too to continue to grow and help that team become better. People complain about him, but again, they complain about him like they complain about Dak Prescott. You're not going to find anybody better. You're not going to find anybody better.
There's only about 10 of those guys out there.
Ask the Miami Dolphins. Ask the Miami Dolphins, Emmitt. Where are they at? Where are they all at?
Where they at right now? They're struggling. They're struggling mentally, emotionally, and they just it's hard because Tua was their man. These guys do not come around. They're not like a dime a dozen. You don't go to every corner and see a dozen athletes sitting there. No, you'd be lucky. And when you get one, you might want to appreciate them, no matter how much they appear on the surface to be struggling.
Send them some butter cake. They need some butter cake from Emmitt's Vegas. They deserve it. Come on, get it to these quarterbacks.
Well, first of all, let me just put it this way.
On the bye week, maybe.
On a bye week, come out there and get your butter cake. Or when you're playing the Raiders, come out there and get your butter cake.
There we go, baby. Fashion Show Mall will tie it all together. Emmitt's Vegas. Everyone can go follow it. It's EmmittsVegas.com is the website. Make your reservations. Emmitt, thank you for throwing us a bone with those 2 years of your career in the Valley in Arizona. We loved watching you. Good luck with the restaurant. Keep being a positive influence, brother. And thank you for coming on with the One Star Recruits.
Thank you. Y'all be good.
Special thanks again to Emmitt Smith, DK. Great dude. I wanted to say on the interview, as Arizona Cardinal fans, we hated to see him come to town, but we love to watch him leave, if you want to put a little spin on it like that. But I'm happy we got to interview him. He's a good guy. He's got a lot of good takes. I have a question for you. Halloween's coming up a little over 3 weeks from today. Do you think we'll see any Guardian caps as Halloween costumes this year? I mean, I keep going in on this Guardian cap thing. Emmitt, it was a hard no for him, a hard no for his son. I'm into it, man. I might buy one and wear that thing out trick-or-treating for Halloween. I like them.
No, you're in too early on it, Rip. It's fine. It's fine. That's my response. It's fine. I'm indifferent because it still aesthetically looks a little bit weird. I'm used to something X, and this is Y, and it just takes some time. I think Emmitt nailed it. It starts with the kids in youth sports, starts with practicing in them, and then making decisions. Eventually, those probably will be normal. But aesthetically looking right now, and machismo, DK is not into him. I don't even think it's that great of a Halloween costume, Rip, because you're going to have that conversation with people over and over again. You prepared to have the Guardian cap conversation 35 times?
There's no one that loves talking Guardian caps more than I do, DK. And I think if you pair the Guardian cap with a Brandon Aubrey 500level.com shirt, discount code DK and Rip at checkout, people would not be able to stop talking to you. You wouldn't get any trick-or-treating done. You'd just be wrapped up in conversation.
So confused. You're right. Do it. That's marketing right there. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying no. I'm not. Who cares about being machismo? I'll wear a damn cap too. People should wear those when they're driving. Why not? Be safe.
Hey, safety is the number one priority. Unfortunately, I don't know if you saw over the weekend, but the main guy in the NFL who's been wearing a Guardian cap, possibly the only one, Jabril Peppers from the Patriots, got arrested for domestic violence and strangulation over the weekend. So come on, Jabril, giving Guardian caps a bad name. I'm going to have to redeem them and probably put that thing on in a few weeks here for October 31st.
Off to a bad start. PR for Guardian caps, Rip. Get on it. Start the business if it doesn't exist already. You're the founder and CEO currently, but bad PR to start, bro. I don't know if this is good PR or bad PR. College football was great on Saturday. Really, really great. Even NFL, wonderful football weekend. Big hand clap for football weekend. Vanderbilt and Arkansas, though, came away with magical victories. Both schools will have to pay a hefty sum, though, for doing something, Rip, that we've done a couple times in our life. 100% worth it, in my opinion. I always think this is worth it because, once again, I can tie it to situation in my life where we still talk story about it. It's still very much a part of our football comeuppance, if you will. But last Saturday, the Commodores won 40-35 over Alabama. And then the Razorbacks rallied for a 1914 win over number 4 Tennessee. Both teams stormed the field, took the field, and took the goalpost down. A beautiful thing, Rip. Am I wrong? Do we not love that? I know you do.
One of the best memories from my 20s, I think, is carrying that thing down Mill Avenue, ripping it down in Sun Devil Stadium. It happens so infrequently that it's something you'll never forget if you're a part of it one time.
Dude, Vandy fans took that thing 3.5 miles from the stadium down Broadway to the river. Committed. It took over an hour and a half to get that thing to the river. But back to business, the SEC policy now, Rip, on storming the field. This was updated in June last year. This indicates that Vanderbilt's going to be fined $100,000 for the incident, and that Arkansas is going to be fined $250,000. They're a repeat offender. Our guy Hunter Yurachek, man, right, and get that checkbook out and running. Third offense, by the way, Hunter's going to be $500,000, $500,000 rushing the field. You got to be careful, fans. I know you're trying to keep players there. You need the money, but it's worth it, bro. It doesn't. If Alabama were fined, it all hits different, Rip. You know what I mean? I don't have to explain the economics. If you've been with us on the podcast, you know we've been through the SEC and understand it's a money printing program, but it's also costs a lot to keep things operating. But it's a drop in the bucket for schools like Alabama, who spent $80 million on their football program this season. Might sting a little bit for Vandy. Conference had the lowest revenue figure last year of any school in the SEC, but then again, Rip, like I said, bro, wins like this don't come very often at all. 23.5 point dogs. The comment Vanderbilt coming in. Vanderbilt quarterback. Speaking of 1-stars, come on, Diego Pavia. He wasn't a 1-star, Rip, but that man was a 2-star recruit coming out of high school. Come on, Diego. Let's go. That was so good, Rip. And I'm gonna pass it to you, but our guy Hunter too. I think coming off the field, Sam Pittman said something about I think the AD is going to be mad. I don't think Hunter's going to be mad. It's great PR. It's so fun. Take those things down. Big hand clap for Hunter Yurachek too. He's doing something creative and trying to bring back old logos that fans have wanted for years, but putting a monetary price tag on those to help with some of the campaigns they're doing to make some money. So smart. So smart. Lots of things going right in Arkansas. But taking down them goalposts when you have big wins, keep it going. Maybe you can make, I don't know, Rip. I don't know if you can make it easier. I don't know if you can make it harder. Just don't stop it, is my point. I want to be very vocal about that. Let this keep going. I'm very nervous, bro. Very nervous. We're going to be in the final years of goalposts being taken down.
By the way, just to qualify, when we did it in Sun Devil Stadium, it was at an NFL game, which I think is possibly the last time it's been done at an NFL game. You see the storming of the field in college and taking them down in college, but doing it at an NFL game, can you imagine that happening today in Jerry's world anywhere? Like,
now they stopped it there. Security's too tight. They stopped it. That's what I'm saying. There's ways. If you want to say we're not doing this anymore, you can, but it's a damn good tradition, especially when you're 23.5 point underdogs and you go into somebody comes into your house and you do work there. So big hand clap, college football. Good stuff. College game day, great game. All good. Looking forward to next week. 1-star moments of the week, Rip. What do you got?
I know you're going to be able to relate to this one, DK, and probably all dog owners as well, because I got just the thing about dog walks, and this isn't a one-time thing. This pretty much happens every week to me. I know you get hit with it too, but it's just, look, the first thing dogs' instincts after they poop is to what do you see the dog do right after they poop, DK? What's the first instinct?
A poop, and then you get they kick with their legs.
That's kick. What it is. So that kick with the legs is like, it's a whole timing thing for the dog owner, because when you lean in to pick up the poop and then they kick that dirt or grass all up in your face right after they took a shit, it feels so disrespectful, and it's my 1-star moment of the week. It happened the other day. I leaned in to pick up this big poop. It was a little soft, so I had to get down there for about 10 seconds. And the dog, I mean, bless them, it's just their instinct. They're just doing what they're naturally supposed to do, is cover up the poop with dirt or grass. But I was down there, and the dog kicked the dirt right in my face. It happens all the time, and I'm tired of it. It's disrespectful, DK. 1-star moment of the week.
I didn't know where you were going. 1 star. Yes, indeed. 1 star moment. Dirt in the face. Not good. I really thought you were going to get poo in the mouth, though. I really, my money was on poo in the mouth. It was going to happen.
Well, luckily they're smart enough to not kick the poop everywhere because that would just be a disaster for them and for everybody. But just kicking the grass or the dirt right over the poop and you're down there picking it up, it's inevitable. The dirt is right in your face, right in your
Yeah.
eyes. It's not a good time.
Idea alert. Idea alert. Maybe a blocker on your cell phone that you can flip up like flippable glasses if you're playing the outfield, if you're playing right field and you got to flip your shades up and down. Maybe you can flip something on your celly to dirt block when you go down for that. Maybe you can just wait a second too, Rip, to do a poo pickup.
I told you it's all about timing. Now that you got me thinking about a blocker, could a Guardian cap solve this problem? I'm going back to the Guardian cap. Could it solve the problem?
We're on to something here. I don't know what it is, but we're on to something. I think your cadence and throwing this changeup of your poo pickup can be adjusted to a little bit more. But I get it. I get it. I understand it.
What do you got? What's your 1 star moment?
1 star moment for me is DK's battle with coffee. The coffee battle. About once a month, I have something with a coffee machine. That's a very standard coffee machine, nothing special, nothing too intense. But about once a month, something happens that will be a self-imposed error and cause havoc early in the morning. This particular week, just the dumbest shit. Dude, I can't even believe sometimes that you do things like this as a human and just move on with your life, though. Filled the water up, 2 cups, put the coffee in, the coffee filter, plopped it in, put the top down, hit the red button, turned around, headed to the bathroom to take my normal morning, my normal session, Rip. You know what I mean? And I hear water flowing from the coffee machine, but I think, oh, that's weird. Maybe it's brewing a quicker this morning. I rationalized it so quick. Gave it about 6 minutes to the point where I then got up, took a gander over. Bro, I never put the coffee holder back in underneath the thing. It was just flowing onto the hot plate and going all over the place. Whole damn thing.
Possible dementia, early warning sign.
Holy shit, right? Possible dementia. Complete. The most important item of the coffee didn't. So I had to sacrifice the life of one of my hand towels. It's done. I panicked too. I didn't even try to get to we have bad towels that are on the other side of this house. And then I have a hand. Of course, I grabbed the white hand towel in the bathroom, ruined it. 1 star, I'm embarrassed. Slight dementia, Rip. I can't believe it. You can miss lots of things in that process. That's not a miss. You know what I mean? Don't miss that. That's the worst.
Yeah, probably time to schedule an appointment with a neurologist, DK. You got something good? What's your recommendation of the week? I know it's not coffee. What do you got?
Rex of the week is super fun. My favorite sport. No offense, football lovers out there. The NBA preseason. The fun has begun. It's back. What do I mean by fun? Bronny playing with LeBron. Games overseas and all over the place. Abu Dhabi, I mentioned it. The Suns this week taking on the Pistons, Rip, at Breslin Arena. Michigan State, East Lansing. Things are happening that's fun in the preseason. You get to get a live look at these rookies. Warriors got Lindy Waters hitting game winners out here in Oahu. It's fun. I'm most excited this week to see how Wemby looks in year 2. He looked good at media day. Word on the streets is he put on a bunch of muscle. So we'll see how he looks, though, Rip. The NBA's good old general manager survey dropped as well. After your 1-star rec, I just have a couple quick NBA GM questions for you before we start the season here. But what's your rec of the week? What do you got for the people?
I'll be quick. I know maybe a small percentage of our audience is in the market for an outdoor speaker, a Bluetooth portable speaker. I'm going to hit you with what I bought a couple months ago. It's called the Monster Rock and Roller 270. It's about $200 on Amazon. I actually got it for baseball games. We can play like walk-up songs for the kids, but we've been using it outside all the time. It's super easy to use, very loud if you want it to be, and very portable. So if you're looking for an outdoor speaker, don't read any reviews of anything else. Don't waste your time. Just buy this Monster Rock and Roller 270 from Amazon. That's it.
Good rec, bro. Good rec. Couple quick hitters from this GM survey. Want to see if you're on the same page as the GMs, Rip. Which player has the best basketball IQ?
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul tied for third. San Antonio Spurs number 1. Nikola Jokic, Denver 53%. LeBron number 2. Luka number 3. Which player is the best leader?
How about Jalen Brunson?
Great guess, Rip. Tied for second. Tied with LeBron James of the Lakers. Number 1, Steph Curry, Golden State Warriors. Number 3, Drew Holiday, Boston. Unexpected one there. Let's give you a couple more. This is kind of fun. Which player is fastest without the ball?
I know I have no idea, so I'm just going to throw a 1-star name drop. Corey Kispert.
Definitely not. De'Aaron Fox, Sacramento Kings. John Morant, 2. Tyrese Maxey, number 3. That's a little bit more obscure. One more. We'll wrap this thing up here. All right, Rip. Last one. If you were starting an NBA franchise today and could sign any NBA player, who would it be? It's as easy.
Luka,
really? Not even top 3. Not even the top 3 according to 31 GMs. Number 1, Victor Wembanyama. Number 2, Shea. Number 3, Joker. 4, Luka. Rip, not even close on that one. Not even close. Which player is most likely to have a breakout season in 24-25?
Alperen Sengun.
I like that. Didn't even make the damn list, but Rip, you are deep in your game right now. The GMs like Jalen Williams, Oklahoma City, followed by Evan Mobley and John Morant. We're here, bro. NBA season coming up. Hit the music. Rips Reacts. ESPN and Shams have agreed to a deal, Rip. You nailed it. The 38-year-old's taking over for Woj. Shams. Thumbs up or thumbs down or indifferent?
Thumbs up. I actually forgot until I saw that he didn't even work for ESPN. He was with The Athletic. I knew that, but it just didn't click because I have alerts set up for his tweets. So every time he breaks something, I get an instant tweet alert on my phone. And really doesn't matter who he works for. He's the best in the business either way.
Dodgers, Padres, spicy. They don't like each other. Shohei Ohtani, Rip, is it in you? Is it in your kids yet? The Shohei Ohtani effect? That $700 million contract is a bargain for the Dodgers. First in attendance, first in jersey sales, $300 million in ad revenue. Even crazier, Japanese brands bought ad space in other stadiums, bro, during the Dodgers away games. Come on. Have you bought in yet? I know you don't like the Dodgers, but come on, Rip. Ohtani.
We went to 2 games this year. Ohtani hit homers in both of them. So I got one kid who's becoming a Dodger fan and one who is rooting for the Padres, still holding strong on my side of the fence. But hey, it's good for baseball, this rivalry, all the antics, fans throwing stuff on the field might not be great for baseball, but all the talking shit, Manny Machado chucking a ball toward Dave Roberts, it's great for baseball, man. And haven't been this interested in a long time.
There it is. We like that, Rip. And go Mets. Go Mets. They're playing today at home. First playoff game in a long time. Such a fun story. Tyrese Halliburton went viral, Rip, for wearing loafers and flipping over his socks to hide the swoosh logo of Nike. He just signed a multi-year deal with Puma. Puma keeps kind of doing it, but I would never buy Pumas. Rip, would you ever, or anybody in your family, buy Pumas?
Not as long as they're associated with DeAndre Ayton, man. I can't run that guy out of town. No, I wouldn't even think about buying Pumas, man. I'm a Hoka all the way, baby. We know this. I'm a 1-star.
Thank you, Emmitt Smith. Thank you, Dallas Cowboys, NFL, Cardinals fans for tuning in with us. Tons of cool stuff if you listen back, if you want to know what's going on in the SEC. And if you dig even deeper, you'll find all kinds of other fun NFL athletes of the past. Calvin Johnson, Jake Plummer, Larry Centers. 1-star recruits will be back next week.
Get your Jalen Tolbert waiver claims in. Yahoo Fantasy Football. See you next week.